Then you start getting into my favorite, right here. Excuse the lighting, keep on going in and out. It's the camera. This right here is your Savage Tale, Conan. This is issue number 1. This is what did it for me. What's great about this is, like I said, John Buscema, he was a big fan of Conan. Him and Ernie Chan were the main 2 people who did these books right here. I actually have 2 of those. One's my read copy, and the other one, like the other one's like, if I had to grade it, that book's like a 9. It was in perfect condition as read, but this is my read copy because I just need to take them out and read the books over and over again. This is now my Savage Tale collection. I came close to having a complete run at one time, but then there was like I told you before in my own intro, I had a flood and I lost a lot of these books. So I have to, like, I'm missing right now, I'm down to 100. I'm missing 100 of this series right here. But the great thing is I do have basically everything from maybe 1 up to 50. I'm not gonna show all those unless there's a request for me to show all those. I'm not gonna show them all right now because that would make for a very long video. And some people don't mind long videos like this, but some people they don't like. So it's like I'm just testing the field and see if there's a demand. I'll go ahead and do that. What I love about these, I would say that these books they serve their country. What I mean by that is when I was in the military, I was stationed in Korea. I had 100 of these books that I would take with me in the field, and and I tell you, you never realize how many people you're in the field, you got some downtime and everything like that. So I would take these books to the field with me, and I would just read them. And of course, I would have. There was a lot of word got around that I had these books, and people were coming down to the deuce and a half that was living in, and they would come and ask to borrow the books. And basically I was a library out in the field. We were out there for maybe 23 days, but I was like a library, and people were coming out there. And I'll tell you, comic books, it didn't matter who you are, even when it comes to rank. I had sergeants, privates, PFCs, I even had officers coming up to my deuce and a half, wanted to borrow. I used the honor, we had the honor system. I usually let people borrow 2 books, and they bring it back and let them borrow 2 more. But I tell you, captains, lieutenants, sergeants, privates, they were all coming to me. And it was just like, and it was a great thing, but we all had the same thing coming. We were just enjoying the books. The great thing about when in the field, you got nothing but time just to sit back and enjoy these beautiful books. Covers, painted, stories really well. These books didn't have that comic code of approval or anything like that, so they were a little bit for a mature audience. Not so mature that they were like, adult, like with nudity, anything like that. No. But more of like the stories weren't watered down as much at all. Which issue was that one? That was number 13. Okay. Like I said, they weren't watered down, and it's like the stories were hardcore, Like I said, no nudity. It was tasteful, but man, just like, these covers were just absolutely beautiful. Painted, I gotta get that light right, okay? Painted, and it's just like, this is Conan at his best right here. These covers just like, oh man, I would just love it. They could just do a book, just painted like that all the way through. It would take a long time to do. Now, don't get me wrong. There were some of these, like this one is mediocre, but some were better than others. I got copies. I got a lot of copies of a lot of these books because every time I see them, if I go to a flea market or a store and I see them, I'll hurry up and pick them. I'll grab them. And I almost got like double runs of my Conans, both Savage Sword and Strange Tales, and also my comic book run of Volume 1, which is 250. No, I'm sorry, I think it's 272, something like that. 200 some books. I got all of them. I almost got doubles of them because of the fact I have the books I keep away, saved, and then I have ones that I keep protected because I want these books to last. But I have my read copies. And like I said, man, look at that cover. Can you get that light to? That is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love these books. They were just, and the great thing about these, they weren't stories that left you on cliffhangers and continue from one story to another. They were basically a one-shot deal, and that's how I sort of like the books like these. It's just like it was, the story was it began and it end with this book. It wasn't more of like have to wait, and then like I said, now this thing really gets me. Ernie Chan and John Buscema was doing this at the same time that they were doing the Marvel comic books. Now these books only came out, I think, once every other month, so it took 2 months. But then you can understand why, because he's doing the comic books and this right here. And like I said, Ernie Chan was his inker, but Ernie Chan, there were some books that he just did the books himself. He just did the pens and the pencils and ink. Ernie Chan, he had John Buscema's style of drawing Conan and John Buscema's art style. He had that down packed. I mean, he was a really, really good artist. I love those two. And the great thing, these books are in black and white. They don't need color. They don't need color. I would love to see that. I'm surprised. I'm only going to show a couple more of these. Some fact, because I don't want the video going on too long. But like I said, I'm surprised that they don't color these books right here, because they would just look brilliant, But then again, it was so good the way they did with the ink. It didn't need it. It was really, really good. So I'll probably just go up to 50 on this one. So, but like I said, it's, man, Conan. Now, of course, they have the movies and everything like that where they were okay. But the only problem is, I think, especially with Arnold, if they could just made those movies today, they would have been good, because a lot of characters of Conan, a lot of it was he also dealt with creatures of demons and creatures of supernatural. And I don't think his movies are portraying that too much as well they would if they had good CGI. But that's another good cover right there. Beautiful cover. Conan. Let's get rid of this stack real quick. Sorry, like I said, sorry about the lighting. Man, these books. Man, what's great about that when I was, like I said, in the field. Look at that. Oh, this is just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Man. I love these books. I love these books. Well, I also do. Also, I have every single issue also in digital. So that way, what's great about that now is that when I want to look at these books, I can just go ahead and just look at the digital copies of them. Some of the digital copies, I mean, this is way back then, but anyway, now are good. But in fact, it allows me from always opening up these out of the bags and boards and looking at them. So, but great thing about these is that these Conan series, because he's a well-known character, but he's not so overdone with the theaters and stuff like that. Now that his prices aren't, super high, you can get these books at a very good price. Go to a flea market. You go to your local comic book store. They'll have them, and then you shouldn't be overpaying for these books. The average Conan book, of course, the hardest ones right here is the first 150. From the 1 to 50. And when it comes to comic books, the first issue 1 through 50 are usually the hardest and most expensive ones, because usually those books have the first appearance of some character. And but with these Conans right here, Marvel got the rights back to them and everything like that, and they're doing books of them and everything like that, which the books are okay, but problem with me is like I've been collecting these since 1976, and I grew up with Conan and portrayed him a certain way, and in my mind, this is just me. I know a lot of you might say the same thing, but you might be different. But for me, I see him a certain way and portrayed a certain way. I can only really see Conan really drawing good in John Buscema's style. This is my preferred taste, because when I read Conan, that was my first impression of him, and the saying goes, like anything, and first impressions always count, and that did that for me for Conan. I mean, I saw him when John Buscema's he was just, incredible, absolutely incredible. I got like two short boxes of this. I'm only going to show you basically what I'm showing you right now is basically um, my first short box. I'm still, like I said, I'm still trying to recollect all of them. It is my, let's get this down. It is my goal to get all of these books back. I almost had it once, almost all of them, but I am going to get all of these books. They also have a Conan saga, which was okay, but it's just that I follow artists Ernie Chan and John Buscema. I followed them, and I mean, not that they did ever see one of these books, but they did a mass majority of them, and they did really, really good. So for me to Saga was okay, but it wasn't as good as established sword, and I like the established sword a lot more better. But it's like I said, these great things about these books were a one-shot deal. There was a story begin and it end. It wasn't more see how he left you on a cliffhanger and see how this see the continued issue of this and how does he save the damsel in distress. No. It was a one-shot deal. It began at the beginning and it had an ending. And so it's just like really, really good. Really good. I'm pretty sure some of these there's probably some key ones, but I'm not really good with keeping keys, keeping track of keys. Sometimes I have a program called Key Collector. Let's see, I'm looking at this other computer. Key Collecting Comics. It's a website you can go to. You can see about key books, and that's the only way I can find out about some of these keys because majority of the times I just collect books, and sometimes I'll have a key book and won't even know it, or sometimes I'll be one that I'm missing. It'll be a key book. So, but that's for all of us. And I'm pretty sure you're the same way. You're the same way. But like I said, Conan. I tell you, what's great about this is the time of season where I would take these out of the bag and read them during winter time. I mean, it's like it's snowing. Well, even though it's not snowing now, especially on Christmas week because I'm usually on vacation. Just when it's snow outside, you can't do nothing outside and everything like that. Works up plow. So you just snuggle up, use some hot cocoa, some type of treat with it and everything like that. Lay back on the couch, pull out a book and just let you take it to another realm, man. Forget about your worries, forget about all kinds of crazy stuff happening in the world. That's the thing that drives a lot of us to comic books. It just takes us away for a little while, and there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong at all. But like I said, this is the last. This is issue 87, the last I have for box 1. That wasn't all of them. I was missing someone in here, a couple books in there. But like I said, my goal is to complete this set. And like I said, you should pay the average of $3 to $7 for these books. They're not that expensive. You should be paying a lot of money for that. And like I said, if there's more interest, I'll show Established Sword. No, not Established Sword. The regular Conan series. Now that one have a complete set. I'll show those later on. Like I said, if there's more details you want to see the rest, just let me know in my comment, and I'll show you the rest I have of the other half of the other box I got. With that said, with this being close to this is Christmas Eve, I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year's.